चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं व्हाट वी वर ऑलरेडी डूइंग. See, we have already started with our NCERT, or we have already covered this NCERT of 11th. We have already covered chapter 1, 2, 3, and this was all about the historical perspective of our Indian economy. Then we moved to the chapter number 4. Okay, and here we discussed about the human capital. Now we are on a chapter 5th, and here we are discussing about the rural development. Okay, we have already covered this chapter uh, about half, and now we will be discussing the rest of the half, right? Okay, if there is any issue with the understanding, तो मैं आपको time दूंगा. I will give you the time at the end, but please don't disturb in the middle, right? Write your doubts down. ठीक है? Whatever your doubts are, write them down, and then we will discuss at the end when this chapter will end, right? ठीक है, everyone? So, what we were doing with this chapter, like rural development, we saw that there are many challenges the rural development in India, rural areas in India are facing even today, even approximately 60 70 years after the independence also, right? So, what we are still seeing is the poverty, right? Then we went ahead to know the reasons for it, right? There were development of human capital is not there, right? Illiteracy is there, health issues, land reforms have not been implemented properly, infrastructure challenges are there, right? So what we already covered those things, and one of the important areas that we discussed, right? तो वो ये था कि द रूरल एरियाज फेस द इश्यूज ऑफ क्रेडिट एंड मार्केटिंग, राइट? सो व्हाट आर दीज? यू कैन रेफर टू द प्रीवियस लेक्चर, राइट? So this all we have already covered, right? And in order to solve those credit and marketing related issues, so government of India has already taken many steps, right? So we have covered those things also. I think one important box was remaining, that yes, this one, right? So we already know that poverty is rampant in the rural areas. So what actually is happening? The rural peoples are themselves coming up to solve the problems of the poverty, right? Because the resources of the government is limited, right? So what actually has happened in the Kerala, a woman-led initiative was started, which was called as Kudumbasari, and this Kudumbasari is very important. You can always write this as an example in GS2, right, and also in GS3. राइट. एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, GS4 ऑल्सो ethics you can always utilize this. ठीक है, तो ये सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स के उसमें आप यूज कर सकते हो, राइट? सो whenever the question on the self help groups, self empowerment, women empowerment comes up, you can always utilize this example, right? तो कुदम्बश्री में what were those people doing? The women, the women who were poor, they came together to form a group, self-help group, in 1995, and what they were doing, they were saving a small amount of money, right? They were putting it on a single bank account, right? So through this thrift and credit culture, right? So whatever the amount that was deposited in a due course of maybe year, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So from this amount, collected amount, a loan was given to a single member, right? A loan was given to a single member, and for starting some productive asset, right? This member may be going for buying some machinery, starting some small business, right? Or maybe some buying some livestock, right? So that they can sell those, the milk or meat or whatever the livestock produces, right? So in that sense, they will be able to generate some productive value out of it, and that loan then will be repaid in the same fund using the interest, right? With the interest. So this was the culture, that Kudumbasari culture, that was able to be produced by the self-help groups, right? So this was being done, and this has now being said as the one of the largest informal bank in India, in Asia, right? So this is the potential of the self-help groups, right? So this is the example that you can quote, always quote, right? And also this is the example of rural development also. Now, moving to this next thing, right? We have already done whatever the issues related to the credit, right? Credit and issues related to marketing. ठीक है, तो ये दोनों चीजें हमने already covered, right? So in the marketing I have already told you to refer to the enam also, right? Because this is an ncrt, it is for the building of your base, right? And enam is a bit above it, right? Okay, so now what we will be discussing will be in the part 2, right? In the part 2 we will be discussing this. So, as we have already seen, the rural areas face some of the challenges related to the credit, right? Related to the credit, related to marketing. Now, how can those rural areas be generating more surplus, right? So, how can they become prosperous? How can farmers become prosperous? So, this was a big challenge. Now, one of the important method is by diversification into productive activities, right? So they have to diversify, they have to they don't have to dependent only on agriculture, right? They have to diversify into another sectors also, right? So what are those no, sectors in which the farmers or the rural people can diversify? Let's discuss this, right? So, diversification is of two types. It may be changing in the cropping patterns, right? Whatever the crops they are growing, right? In some areas, only wheat or rice is grown, right? So, we have to diversify our produce from wheat and rice to maybe pulses, right? Maybe some other like sugarcane or some cash crop, right? So, by this, the farmer will be able to generate more income, right? But now, this is one of the important thing of diversification. This is related to cropping, and other shift maybe from workforce, from agriculture to another activity, right? Allied activities. Whatever those allied activities, it may be livestock, maybe poultry, maybe fisheries, right? They may be going for cultivation of for cultivation of bees, right? That is called pisciculture, right? So these all those things can be done, right? So from agriculture, bottom line is, from agriculture, farmer has to also start some non-agricultural activities, right? And whatever the income he gets from agriculture as well non-agriculture activities, then only the rural development can be possible, and prosperity can come in the rural areas, right? So this is how the diversification is needed, right? So this was the about diversification. Now we will be discussing much in much detail. So because if the farmer is depending only on the farming, so there is very high risk, right? Because somewhere in the farmers, if the farmer has put some crops, right, and suddenly some disaster comes, right? It may be some high rains, right, or maybe some drought condition, right? So whatever the produce he is having in his field, right, it will go away, right? So he should be having some another source of income as well, right? So that is why diversification is very important for the farmer, right? And so that is why diversification is important, because it will provide sustainable livelihood options to the rural people, right? It will be providing agricultural employment activities, right? So those people are largely employable in the kharif season, right? But when the rabi season comes, right, so you must be dependent, you must already be knowing or not knowing, I will let me tell you that much of the India's agriculture is dependent on the monsoon. Why? Because in the Deccan area, right? In the Deccan area of India, there are not very good supply of irrigation, right? Irrigation is not available. So when is irrigation available with them? Only during the monsoon. So in India, majorly the agriculture happens in the Kharif season, right? But when the Rabi season comes, those people or those rural people doesn't have any employment, right? So so in order to find some gainful employment at that point of the time, right, so we need to diversify our agriculture or economic activities, right? So this was all about important in this, and this image is very important. See, here jaggery making is going on. This is a diversification of diversified employment by the farmer, right? So these people are not dependent only on agriculture. They have started a small scale industry, that is jaggery making industry, in their villages, right? So this was the diversification, right? Okay, we will continue with our diversification. Let's discuss this box, right? What this box tells about Tamil Nadu women in agriculture, right? Tanwa. And this type of case study, right? You should always write it down somewhere in your notes. ठीक है? ये case study है. It you may utilize it in the women empowerment, right? Women empowerment, you can utilize it in the rural development section also, right? So this is what and also you can utilize it in agriculture diversification, agricultural employment diversification, right? So what this Tanwa is all about, Tanwa was a project which was started in 1980s to train the women in the agriculture techniques and organic farming, both agriculture techniques and organic farming. As we already know, the agriculture is largely a man dependent job, right? But slowly, as what is happening is in India at this point of the time, suppose this is a rural area, okay? So rural, in this rural area, majority of the men are migrating to the cities, right? Migration is rampant, right? So men are migrating to the nearby cities. In the rural area, most of the women are remaining there, right? So there is a dependency of women to do the agriculture activities by themselves. So Tamil Nadu realized that the women needs to be trained, right, in the agriculture activities as well as organic farming. So in order to make the most productive as make them most productive asset, right, and also improve the agriculture output of the state. So this Tanwa project was started, and agriculture techniques and organic farming, etc., were the techniques were the skill training was given to the women at that point of the time, right? And this led to rise in the agriculture productivity as well as farmers' income. Right. And those trained women were successfully making and selling vermicompost and earning money. Right. So not only were they doing the agriculture activities, they were also utilizing the waste generated from the agriculture activities to make some organic fertilizer, right, vermicompost from it, and then they were generating surplus like money from that, right? So that is what was the initiative of Tanwa, right? Also they were also given some mini banks were started by the state government, and they were given micro credits in order to establish some of their productive assets, right? And then this led to the generation of small scale house activities, right? Small scale industries like maybe mushroom cultivation, shop manufacturing, doll making, and other income generating activities. So by skilling the women, right, in the agriculture and all other things, women were able to gain the skills, right, and they were able to generate the employment there, right? So this is the effect of skill training, right? So this was this is the very good case study that you can always utilize in the not only in GS papers but also in essay also, right? And women empowerment. तो इसको हमेशा याद रखना, नोट बना कर रख लेना इसको, ठीक है? Now, moving to the next, we were discussing about diversification of agriculture. So, we were saying that either the diversification can come in the crops, right, or it may be coming in the employment, right? So, we need to be finding alternative employment opportunities, right, in the non-farm sector in order to improve the wages and earnings of the farmer, right? So there may be some dynamic and non-dynamic sectors where this employment may be coming up, right? So in the dynamic subsectors, it may be agro processing industries, right? So these dynamic they are called dynamic because they will keep on growing, right? And food processing, right? They will not stop, right? Leather industry, tourism. So these are the industries which are always require the employment, right? Now, But another sectors are also there, right, which have potential, right, but seriously lack infrastructure. There may be another things. What are those? They may be traditional home-based industries like pottery, crafts and handlooms, etc. So those are the traditional ones, right? So in order to diversify the employment, right? Let me create a type of mind map for you, right? So in order to diversify the employment in the rural areas, we can go for this dynamic sectors, right? Food processing and other things, and we can also go for traditional ones, right? जो कि मतलब historically the rural people have been doing, right? There may be some crafts, there may be some like cotton etc. ठीक है, वूल मेकिंग एक्सेट्रा. तो ये सब जो इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, हम उनमें भी कर सकते हैं, राइट, उनका डाइवर्सिफिकेशन. बट व्हाट एक्चुअली इज हैपनिंग, that in the recent times women have also begun looking for the non-farm jobs. ठीक है, तो this was already a type of thing that was male dominated, but now women are also also seeing for some alternative employment opportunities. And this box 5.2 that about Tanwa that we have already discussed, right? So this thing is about that. ठीक है, so this we have already seen the women's relation of women, right? Now, moving to the next subsector and next diversification, it may be animal husbandry, right? तो animal husbandry में कैसे कर सकते हैं? The farmers, they because what actually farmer is doing in India, the farmer is doing two type of activities, right? He may be involved in the farming, right? Farming, as well as he may be having some livestock. ठीक है? So this is what is being done in India, right? So mixed type of cropping, mixed crop, that crop as well as livestock farming is being done in India, right? The farmer may be having some cattles, goats, fowls, right, buffaloes, right? So these all livestock production is being done in India's rural areas, right? And this provides stability, food security. ठीक है, तो ये this thing you need to remember, right? You need to remember, you need to make a note of it. How livestock, how livestock helps farmer. ठीक है, helps farmer. So it helps in farmers by stabilizing the income, food security, right? Transport, fuel, and nutrition for the family. Right. So this is how livestock is beneficial for the farmer. Right. So this is the data that has been given. This data is important because you can always quote some data in your essays or as well as your answers. Over 70 million small and marginal farmers are landless laborers in India, right? So if those 70 million are there, right, and those are small farmers, so they must be given some livestock, right, so that they can have better employment and better income with them, right? So and out of these small and marginal farmers, significant number of those farmers are women. So we need to give them some alternative opportunities also, right? So this livestock rearing can be one of the important areas to diversify in, right? Now we have been given some data from 2019. How much is the distribution of livestock and poultry in India? Poultry forms 61% of whole livestock. Pigs are only 1%, and cattle and buffalo are approximately 22%, and sheep and goat are 60%. So you should remember about poultry, cattle, buffaloes, and sheep, right? So this is the significant number that India's rural areas are having, right? Now this is the diversification that is needed, right? So you can see the sheep being reared here, right? So this is the alternative employment activities that in the rural areas that is happening. Okay, so now this was the data that how much is the population of which cattle. But now we are seeing only the cattles. Approximately 3.303 million cattles, including 110 million buffaloes, are is still there in India, right? In 2019, right? So this livestock sector, this buffalo and cattles, is feeding the dairy industry. right? And dairy sector is coming up in India, right? It has been one of the important successes in India, right? As we have already seen in the previous part of it. So milk production in India has already increased 12 times, right, between 1951 and 1921. This is the data that is very important. Okay, so those cattle that we are rearing, right, the farmers are rearing. So this is increasing their milk production, and in essence, they it is also giving them the livelihood opportunities, right? Operation Flood was successfully implemented. That we have. What was Operation Flood about? It was about the milk, right? Operation Flood was implemented, and the farmers were able to pool their milk, whatever the milk they were producing, they were getting it together, and then they were distributing to the farmer to the consumers in the city area, right? After grading, processing, and marketing, right? So this what this has done is by selling that milk, the farmers were able to increase their income, right? It has provided them with additional opportunity of earning some money, right? So this by this manner the rural development came in India, right? And this Operation Flood have been one of the important successful programs that has been run by India, right? Farmers are assured of fair prices, and consumers are assured of supply of milk in the urban areas, right? Okay, so we have seen about the cattle, we have seen about the milk, but there are another things also which are given by the livestock. It may be by the milk, sorry, meat. It may be eggs, wool. Other byproducts are also given, and these are also emerging as different diversification that the farmers can diversify into, right? Those in these sectors also farmers can diversify and increase their income, right? Now, another important thing is fisheries. Like we have seen the livestock, right? Now we are seeing the fisheries. So fisheries may be done. Fishing may be done in the fresh water, or it may be done in the marine water, right? So in that sense, there are two type of fishing: freshwater fishing and marine fishing. In India, freshwater fishing is one of the important and majority, and this marine fishing is in minority, right? So you should always consider it that aquaculture, that is freshwater fishing, is large in the number in India as compared to marine fishing, right? So there may be water bodies. Water bodies are like ocean, sea, rivers, natural rivers. Like it may be fresh water, or it may be marine water. Okay, you should very simply understand like this, right? So therefore, those are a very integral and life-giving source of fishing communities, right? So fishing can be done here. Approximately 75% of the total is fish that is coming from the fresh water, right? And 25% is coming from the marine sector that I have already told you, right? So total fish production in India accounts for 1.5% of the GDP. So from the GDP, out of the 100, 1.5 comes from this fisheries sector, right? So this is very important sector that is contributing to the growth of India, right? And some of the states have been mentioned like West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu are the major producers. Okay, so you should see that majority of them or all of them are the coastal states, right? Coastal states. And not only this, many of them or all of them are the river riparian state also, right? So though in all these states there are significant amount of rivers also for the freshwater fishing, right? So these states are able to produce fish from two types, right? From freshwater as well as marine water, right? So, but there are in the fishing sector also there are some issues also. The challenges that the fishing community faces, it is because of the rampant unemployment is there, right? Underemployment is there. Low per capita income earnings is low because the fishing doesn't have that much price in the market, right? Now, absence of mobility of the labor, people are not able to move from one space to another, and right, high illiteracy and indebtedness is also there in the sector. So these are the some of the issues that the farming committee faces, right? The fishing community faces. About 60% of the women workforce in the export marketing and 40% in the internal marketing are women. Okay, so women, this fishing is largely a man-oriented job, right? If we talk about the fishing, right, it is man-dominated job. Okay, but when fish is caught and it is being marketed, okay, or exported, so woman comes here. Approximately 60% of this value chain is woman, right? But when we talk about the fishing only, it is man oriented job, right? No, okay, okay. So we have done about the fishing. Now coming to the next diversification sector that a farmer can go for is horticulture. Horticulture is because India is having different type of climate, right? If we you will be able to if you will be seeing India, right? No, I've gone wrong somewhere. ठीक है. So if you will be drawing this tropic of Cancer, so above it is temperate region and below it is a tropical region, tropical, subtropical, whatever you want to say, right? So this is the unique condition of India, right? India has two types of climate. So the fruits can be cultivated in both type of climates. So India has varying climate as well as soil conditions to produce approximately every type of fruit as well as horticulture crops, right? It may be fruits, it may be vegetables, it may be tuber crops, it may be flowers, medicinal and aromatic plants, spices and plantation crops, right? So in the horticulture sector, India has is geographical advantage, right? So this is what India is already having, right? So providing food and nutrition also is and also the employment concerns can be addressed because of the horticulture, right? If a farmer moves in the horticulture sector, his nutrition values will be added, right? His employment concerns will be gone, right? And also he will be providing food to not only his family but also to the nation, right? Right. So this is what is the effect of horticulture. And the horticulture sector contributes approximately one third of the value of the agriculture output, right? And 6% of the GDP, right? 6% of the GDP. So you should understand that this fisheries produce only 1.5%, but horticulture is giving 6% of the GDP. So horticulture in that sense becomes very important sector for India, for India, right? And also India has emerged as a world's leader. That is, it has top position in many of variety of the fruits, mangoes, bananas, coconut, cashew nuts, and number of spices, right? But it is second largest producer in fruits and vegetables, right? So India's horticulture is also growing and it has contributed immensely to the development of India, right? Now, flower harvesting, nursery maintenance, and hybrid seed productions, tissue culture, propagation of fruits and flowers, and food processing are highly remunerative employment options for women in rural areas. So, in if we will talk about this horticulture, so it generates a variety of employment. So, right, not only for the men but also for the women, right? So, we have to produce hybrid seeds, we have to propagate the fruits, right, and flowers, and we have to do fruit processing. Whatever the fruits and the horticulture produce comes up, we have to process also, right? So in that sense, these are the employment opportunities that are available in the rural areas, right? So in that sense, those women or even the rural people can have alternative employment opportunities beside the agriculture, right? So this is very important diversification area. So measures have been taken by the government of India, like livestock population is quite impressive, but its productivity is quite low in India, right? So people have livestock, they may be having cattle, they may be having goat, sheep, etc., but their productivity is low, right, as compared to developed nations. This requires, what it requires is the improved technology. It needs good breeds of those animals, right? It needs improved veterinary care and credit facilities. So these are the measures or the challenges that you can say. So these livestock sector, this needs there is a great amount of challenge, right, in the rural areas. And these are some of the measures which can be taken by the government of India to increase the livelihood opportunity in the agriculture, in this animal husbandry sector, right? Production of fisheries has also increased, and problems related to, but fisheries also has some problems that we have already discussed, but here it is also being mentioned here. It may be related to the overfishing, it may be related to the pollution of the water bodies, right? So those are also, welfare programs for fishing communities are also needed, because we need these communities, right? These fishing communities have some of the vulnerable problems, right? Okay, horticulture has also emerged as successful, sustainable or livelihood, but it needs to be increased, right? Farmers are not going for the agriculture or horticulture sector, right? Because it has very big amount of gestation period, right? From putting those crops till it is harvested, right? Those fruits and vegetables etc. are harvested. तो तब तक का जो पीरियड है वो बड़ा है. So that is why the farmers who are poor, they are not able to go for the horticulture, right? So this needs to be increased. How it needs to be increased? By investment in infrastructure, electricity, cold storage systems, marketing, small scale processing units, and technology improvement and dissemination. So the government needs to be doing taking these measures, right? These measures in order to improve the livestock sector in India. No, 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 livestock sector. I'm sorry, the horticulture sector in India, right? Okay, some other alternative options I have also been given. So these are the alternate. These are the options that were discussed in very detail. So we will be discussing another alternative options which we will be covering very speedily, right? So IT, that is information technology, has again come up as a new sector which can give employment, alternative employment in the rural areas, right? So what actually is happening is that this IT needs only the access to the internet, right? Internet. So internet can be provided in the rural areas. So by using this internet, the rural people can get alternative livelihood options also. So government can by using those internet, like using the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other technology tools, the government can predict the areas where food insecurity may be there, vulnerability can be increased, right? Even the software tools, so that actions can be taken, right? So what actions needs to be taken, what type of things needs to be delivered at what point, these all can be disseminated by the use of the technology, right? So emerging technologies and its applications, the information can be disseminated at a very fast rate, right? The prices can be the rural areas want, or the farmers of the rural area want, what are the prices, different prices of their crops that they are going to grow, right? What is the weather, what is the soil condition, right, for growing different amount of different type of crops. So these are the information that the rural people demands, right? So this infrastructure technology, IT, right? IT can be information technology can be utilized in disseminating this type of information to the farmers, right? Potential, not only this, it has potential to generate employment in the rural areas also, right? So this is the potential of IT. So these people, the rural people, can also diversify in IT sector also. Okay, so we have done about the diversification. Now, next topic that we are going to start is the sustainable development and organic farming, right? Organic farming. Okay, in recent years, the awareness of the harmful effect, because those chemicals, chemical fertilizer, the pesticides, the herbicides, etc., that the farmers are putting in their fields, those things have harmful effect on the human health. right? So because of those toxic pesticides, which they enter the food supply and then penetrate the water sources, harm the livestock as well, and also deplete the soil and devastate the natural ecosystem. So those chemical fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides, etc., are not only problematic for the human health, but they are also having other effects also, effect on the soil, effect on the livestock, effect on the trees nearby, and ecology in the broader sense, right? So that is what is the information that is growing in the rural areas, urban areas. So some people or many of them are now moving towards the organic farming, right? So efforts are being taken to evolve some technologies which are eco-friendly and essential for the sustainable development, right? So organic farming is one of the best alternative in that sense, right? In that area, right? Okay, we will be discussing these boxes later. So farming that restores, maintains, and enhances the ecological balance. This is the benefit of this organic farming, right? So okay, let's do those boxes that we have, then we will be coming up for the benefits of organic farming, right? So what is the organic food? Organic food is gaining the popularity throughout the world, and there are now uh, value chains, right? There are many retail chains and supermarkets that are only selling the organic produce, and right, and they have gained green status, right? Status as green food, right? So that is why green and organic food, they are selling organic food and they have been given the status of green, right? So that is why this organic farming is improving day by day, right? And not only this, organic food has higher prices also, around 10 to 100%. So they may be 1.1 times or maybe 2 times of the price that the uh, chemically produced foods may be, right? So if the farmers are having better opportunities, better income from this organic farming, so they should diversify to this organic food, right? And this box is about the Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. That was started. This Yojana, this scheme was started in 2014, and according to this scheme, the member of parliament has to adopt a village in their area, in their constituency, and there needs to be developed, identify and develop the village from their constituency, right? So they may be motivating the village. They have to motivate the villagers to take up some activities and build inbuilt infrastructure in the areas of health, nutrition, and education. So in effect, what the MP does, he adopts a village, he tries to improve the infrastructure of that area, right, a village, and after 2 or 3 years, when the infrastructure becomes better, he have to adopt another village, right? So this is the that this box is about that scheme, that is Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, right? This is for the rural development. Okay, so we were on the organic farming, right? And what are the different benefits of the organic farming, right? So it is a measure, right, to give a substitute to the costlier inputs, right? So whatever the inputs that we are putting in those in the field, it may be like HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, right, pesticides, maybe herbicides, etc. So a alternative is given to the farmers. You don't have to use those all things. You just grow your crop using the waste that is produced from the agriculture only, right? So locally produced organic inputs are used, which are cheaper, thereby generate good returns for the investment, right? So if the if the investment done by the farmer, right, investment done by the farmer in the field will be lower, right? So whatever the amount that he will be getting off for his crop, that will be much higher, right? Because he is not investing, he is investing less and gaining more, so his profits will be better, right? So returns or profits will be better. So income through exports can also be gained, because as we have already seen in the box 5.4 above, that these organic produce are much in the demand outside India also, right? So because of the increase in the information regarding the chemical, the negative effects of the chemical fertilizers, etc. So in that sense, those organic farming can be a better alternative to the farmers, right? Not only this, those organic produce is also nutritionally very good, right? Than the chemical farming, right? It is more labor intensive also, so employment may be generated in the rural areas, and produce is pesticide free and environment sustainable manner, right? Produce is found in an environment sustainable manner. So in that sense, it is beneficial for ecology also, right? Ecology also. So in that sense, this organic farmer has many of the benefits, right? But there is lack of information in the farmers. Okay, lack of information. So what needs to be done is awareness needs to be generated, and willingness on the farmers should be increased, right, to adopt new technology, right? So inadequate infrastructure is there, problem of marketing of those organic produce, and are those these are some of the issues, challenges that needs to be addressed in order to promote the organic farming, right? Okay. Another important issue that organic farming has is that yields from organic farming is less in in the initial years, right? So when the farmer will be shifting from chemical to organic farming, yield will decrease in some initial years, right? So because farmers mainly majority of the farmers are poor, so they are not able to bear this burden of decreased yields, right? Because of this decrease in the yields, they will be getting lesser amount of money, right, when they will be selling it. So if the money will be little, then they are not encouraged to go for this organic farming, right? So this type of issues also needs to be addressed. Right. Another important issue is the shorter shelf life of these crops, right? So because they are organically produced, so their shelf life is a bit lesser as compared to those chemically produced ones, right? So this is what is organic farming all about. So we have seen the benefits of organic farming. We have seen the issues and challenges of the organic farming, right? So this is all about all we have seen, right? Last we will be seeing this box. Organically produced cotton in the Maharashtra, right? A person was there, uh, Kishan Mehta. You don't have to remember this name, but you should remember this NGO, Prakriti NGO, right? He was from Prakriti NGO, and he was saying that cotton can be grown using the organic inputs, right? But everyone was saying that it can't be done, right? Because cotton is very input intensive crop, right? It can be grown organically, but no one was listening to him. But now uh, what he was saying, that person was saying that 78% of the Indian farmers are small and marginal, right? So they can't afford the chemicals, intensive amount of chemicals that are needs to be chemicals, pesticides, and also the herbicides, etc., which needs to be put in the in the cotton farming, right? So what needs to be done is we should eliminate all those chemicals, and we should be doing the cotton cultivation organically, right? So this is what was needed, right? So such farmers, once organic agriculture is more profitable in terms of money as well as soil conservation in the long run, right? So according to him, this cotton needs to be produced organically as compared to the chemically, right? And this will be more beneficial for the farmers, right? So now we have come to the conclusion aspect of it, and we have seen how the rural development is there, right? What is the condition of rural areas? It is high amount of poverty is there, right? So what needs to be done is the diversification is foremost thing that needs to be done, right? Diversification we have seen in the crops as well as employment opportunities. We saw the infrastructure elements that needs to be increased, right? Infrastructure needs to be developed in the rural areas so that they can connect to the cities and increase their incomes, right? And also we should in the era of economic development, we should be taking environment also along with us, right? So rural development as well as environment both should be sustainably growing, right? So this is what needs to be done, right? In the environment sector we have seen the organic farming, right? Organic farming. So this is the conclusion of this chapter. So we have covered this chapter, right? Rural development. I hope you like this, right? So this was also all about. If you want the PDF will be available in the description, right? Link will be there. ठीक है. So we have done it.